So in case any of you haven't seen it yet, we received a detail map showing all the DLC coming out over the next year or so. And if we take a look at this map, it tells us where we currently are because it shows the free clothing pack that was released, the retro Jason, and the smaller maps. Now, if we come down just a little bit farther, we see the pumpkin, which obviously represents Halloween, and the snowflake, which obviously represents winter. And then there's a little strip of DLC after the snowflake, which I'm assuming is anywhere between the beginning of winter and summer of next year. So the next DLC for Friday the 13th, the game that comes out, will be the emote pack. And in case any of you are unaware, emotes are just simply gestures like Halo 2, or I'm sure there's a bunch of other games that have it. But you know, you press up, down, left, right on the D-pad, and they do stupid little ha-ha, hey, do, you know, still a bunch of little different gestures. Now, Gun Media said the emotes were going to be added to help people with non-mics communicate with those with mics. Yes, because that's what we want to do. We all want to sit around in the street while Jason's coming playing fucking charades. Hey, dude, over there's the flashlight. No, people aren't going to do that. You can sit there and play your little gestures all you want. If I'm in a car and you're fucking playing charades, I'm leaving or I'm running you over. I don't know, whichever it is. So either get over your fear of a microphone or go buy a $6 mic if that's the case. I don't know. Other than those two things, I don't really understand what the issue is for not using or having a mic. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Then after the emote package will be the 1984 Swimwear collection. And in case you haven't seen this yet, I think they pretty much nailed this DLC. I think the nerdier girls have one-piece suits. The better looking women have a sexier bikini. And of course, La Chapa has like almost what looks like clothes. And if you haven't seen it yet, Chad has like tiger looking print nut huggers. And then whatever the hell he's doing, this guy looks like fucking Cornholio getting aroused looking at Chad. I think he might actually be gay, and they're hinting at something in that video a little bit. But I think for the most part, they nailed this. Now, the only thing that this DLC is going to do is have all the teenage kids being Tiffany in a bikini. Now, notice how I didn't say running around as Tiffany in a bikini, because the only thing that's going to happen is, like I said, they're going to be in the bikini, and they're going to sit there. And then all we're going to hear is some sick, disgusting, squishy noise coming from the mics. Telling you this is going to fucking happen. At some point, you are going to come across a fucking Tiffany in a bikini, sitting still, not moving, and you're going to be hearing some weird, nasty shit over the microphone. We all know it's coming, let's be honest. Now, after the 1984 Spring Break collection, Jason Voorhees Part 4 will be released. And in case you don't know what Jason Voorhees Part 4 looks like, here's a little clip of him. Now, following the Part 4 Jason Voorhees is going to be Tommy Jarvis's house, which will be a whole new map. Now, I'm going to go ahead and safely assume that this is going to be Friday the 13th in October. They're going to release both Part 4 Jason and the new map, which includes the Tommy Jarvis house. So in case you haven't seen it yet, here's a little video clip. So here we see, wait a second, there's rain. Now that looks pretty damn familiar. Now where the hell have I seen that before? Oh, that's right. Seriously though, if they added rain in the thunderstorm as an option or a specific map, it would be so badass. Watch this. So back to this video. We see Tommy Jarvis's house. So this looks like we could actually be playing in a neighborhood, which would give us some variety to the game. And there's your sneak peek at Part 4 Jason. So after Tommy Jarvis's house will be new counselors. Now, I just want to touch on something that I didn't mention before. One of the new players that's going to come about, if you look at the Kickstarter list, is Mark. And if you don't know who Mark is, he's the guy in the wheelchair. Yeah, I have no clue why he would incorporate somebody in a wheelchair. I mean, what are we going to have to do? Every time he wants to search a house, we're going to have a couple counselors come over, pick up Mark, put him in a house. I mean, he's going to be the most trolled freaking character in the game. He's going to go into a house. Somebody's just going to go in there, lock the door, and hop out a window. What's he going to do? He can't get out. He's going to be stuck in the damn house. Now, when he needs to leave or escape, what do we got to do? Okay, guys, Jason's over there. I need you guys to get out of the car, help Mark in, throw the wheelchair in the trunk, and let's get out of here. What are you going to do with Mark? This is the dumbest character I've ever heard of. Now, I know you guys are going to say, well, they didn't say it was going to be Mark. Well, again, look at the Kickstarter. Mark was one of the characters on the list. So since we're going by what they're announcing, a lot of this stuff is what was on the list for Kickstarter. So we're going to follow suit here. Now, one thing that I think would be kind of cool is if we could take Mark, maybe tie him up to the bumper of the car and drive off and just let him work his way as bait on the way out. And maybe when Jason comes near, we just slam on the brakes and let Jason take him so we can get away. That might be a cool little idea to play with Mark. Or maybe we lock Mark up in a room, right, with the wheelchair. And we have to gather parts to unlock a room, get Mark out, and then we can hop on the back of the wheelchair and Mark can wheel his way out the exit. Take 20 minutes to get out. Yeah, I don't understand the point of adding Mark with the wheelchair. I mean, I can understand the people, oh, God, he's in a wheelchair. You can't make fun of him. Well, guess what, bitch? I just did. And you know it would be funny as hell to see somebody in a wheelchair tied up to the back of a car getting drove right the hell out of damn Crystal Lake. So, and after the new counselors, we're going to get new kills. And if you haven't seen some of these clips yet, Kane Hodder came in to do some of the kills himself. It looks like he's axing a counselor and flinging him across the street or building, wherever the hell he's doing it. And after the new kills, we're going to get new clothing. So that's going to be all the DLC releases up until October 31st. Now, between October 31st and the first day of winter, we're going to get a whole nother group of DLC. So the first thing on the list is going to be Virtual Cabin 2.0. If you don't know what the Virtual Cabin is, well, they had a Virtual Cabin in the beta version for the people that back Kickstarter. And what it did was allow the characters, or you, to walk around a room and you could see different objects and weapons and Jasons and all this other great shit in a room. Now, I think what would be a really cool thing to incorporate if they're going to use Virtual Cabin 2.0 is maybe make it a waiting room instead of just a lobby, and maybe we can go through some doors to change counselors or go into a different door to buy some shit, or maybe sit on a couch and sit by the fire while we're waiting for everybody to load up. I think that would be kind of a really cool idea for the Virtual Cabin 2.0. And after Virtual Cabin 2.0 will be virtual bots. Now, virtual bots will just be AI acting as the counselors or Jason, so you can play offline and not play with live people. Which personally, I don't like that idea at all, because I think the whole great thing about these type of games, the whole survival horror gameplay, is that you're playing with real people to work together to escape. If I wanted to play like a single player mode or play with the computer, I would simply just pop in Friday the 13th on NES and play it. So for me, I don't really care for offline bots or single player mode. I like playing with multiple people, with live people. Now, if they're going to make a single player mode that has the option to bring live people in and we all work together, that might sound like a cool idea. You know, but other than that, that's just where I sit with it. And after that will be single player challenges demo, which is obviously a demo for challenges in single player mode. But again, this is probably something I'll stay away from. I may make a couple videos in single player mode here and there just to show you guys what it's like. But again, I just really like playing with real people. Then, of course, we're going to get a whole new group of new counselors again. And the last piece of DLC that's going to be released right before winter is a new map. Now, I've come across a couple images here and there on f13game.com, which might be a little hint to what's coming out for the new map. If we take a look at this picture right here, it looks like they constructed a map from Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, you see the boathouse off to the left? Now, I could come up with some pretty damn cool ideas with this boathouse, such as it's a way for everybody to escape. However, if Jason gets on board, he can damage the equipment, and you would have to sit there and keep fixing and working on the boat to get it to keep going every inch of the way while he's on board. However, I have a couple better ideas for new maps on this game. One would be Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, you take a couple blocks in Manhattan and you kind of lock it off the same way they do with the current maps, and you allow people to go down into the subway, maybe go through the subway cars, then they have to go through certain stores to collect different items to restart a taxi or some shit, maybe go in a couple buildings and go up a few floors into rooms and stuff like that. I think that'd be a really interesting and a good way to add some variety to this game. So that's all the DLC that's coming out for Friday the 13th between now and the beginning of winter. However, between the beginning of winter and I'm going to safely guess next summer, there will be 6 more DLCs coming out, which you'll have a new Jason, some more new clothing, a new game mode, which I'm going to safely assume is single player mode. Yeah, you're going to have to wait till spring or summer of 2018 to play single player mode. Single player challenges, another new Jason, and another new map. And because a new Jason and a new map are so close to a release on this map, I'm going to go ahead and say that it's probably going to be Jason X and the spaceship. Yes, Jason X, or Uber Jason, and the spaceship were both mentioned in the Kickstarter as well. So that's going to be all the DLC for Friday the 13th between now and I'm going to assume, again, summer of 2018. But I want to know, down in the comment section below, which one of these DLCs are you most looking forward to and why? And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, because if you don't, you won't be notified of great videos such as this one, especially since it's coming up to be October, which Halloween, you know, that's kind of my Christmas time during the year. So there's going to be a lot of horror skits coming out next year, which you probably don't want to miss. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all that other great shit. And as always, I'll see you next time.